1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 chicks hatching, 11 cats scratching. 11's the number for me, don't you see? 11's the number for me.
We're celebrating 11 years of the Solomonster Sounds Off. And here's the Solomonster with 11 fun facts about the number 11.
11!
November is the 11th month on the calendar. 11 is the first palindrome, meaning it reads the same backwards as it does forwards. This includes the date November 11th, which also represents Veterans Day in our country, a day where each year we pay tribute to John Triton's service in the Marines.
Being a Marine meant everything to me.
10!
Apollo 11 was the first manned spacecraft to land on the moon.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Have a nice day.
9!
The maple leaf on the Canadian flag has 11 points.
I am proud to be Canadian.
8!
Speaking of Canada, I'm pretty sure there have been at least 11,000 wrestlers to come out of Canada, almost all of them from Stu Hart's dungeon.
And I am proud to be your hero.
7!
WrestleMania 11 sucked in 1995,
WrestleMania. It's Hollywood. It's Broadway.
and it still sucks today.
6!
Titanic won 11 Oscars.
Are you crying? Am I crying? No, I'm not crying. You're crying.
5!
In 2011, CM Punk dropped his infamous pipe bomb, and wrestling fans continue to misuse and abuse the term to this very day.
4!
The main character on Stranger Things is named 11.
3!
This year's Halloween sequel was the 11th film in the franchise.
2!
I smashed my head against the wall 11 times watching Raw last Monday.
It's a 3-hour extravaganza.
1!
But most of all, thank you for supporting the Sound Off for the last 11 years. Through 34 SE Scoops live shows, 84 YouTube extras, 571 episodes, and the death of Michael Jackson, thank you. We're just getting warmed up.
It's business time, baby.
The Solomonster Sounds Off.
My client
Mama Monster
conquered the street.
You like fighting a woman?
Your title belt is made of leather. You're not a real vegan.
Come over here and fight me.
Delete. You haven't been beat up properly. Woo!
It's the anniversary show. We survived another year. Somehow, throughout this entire year with this WWE product, we all survived. And it is now the 11-year anniversary of the Sound Off. I'm so happy you guys can join me. This is episode 571 of the Solomonster Sounds Off here for Sunday, November 4th, 2018. I am the Solomonster, and there's a bunch of people I have to thank here at the top of the show because I've been getting a lot of nice messages from people, you know, wishing happy anniversary, and I think back over the years to all the people who have in some form or fashion contributed to this podcast. And I don't want to miss out on you know, giving them a shout out or mentioning them here. So I got to say thank you up front to Webmaster Mike of SEScoops.com, the original home of the Sound Off. I know a lot of you hardcores go back to episode 1, so you guys remember the SE Scoops days. And there would be no Sound Off had I not started this show for SE Scoops back in the day. So I got to give a shout out to Webmaster Mike. Of course, Noah Mark and Brian Blade. I want to thank them for all their contributions to this show over the years. I got to thank Noah for his help with that intro that you heard there at the top of the show. Also, Steve Mello is a name you may not recognize, but I want to give him a shout out here as well. He has done some tremendous graphics work for the show, for a lot of the videos you see on the YouTube channel. And I want to give his website a plug. He's got a website called ProWrestlingLinks.com, which really is just a sort of a landing page or a destination page with a whole bunch of links to different wrestling podcasts and news sites and YouTube shows. There's just a huge collection of links there. It's worth checking out, ProWrestlingLinks.com. Thank you to Steve for all of his help. At Official Salrex on Twitter. Those awesome YouTube pay-per-view review designs that you see come courtesy of the wonderful work that Salrex does, so shout out to him. Really anybody who has ever contributed in some form or fashion with graphics or t-shirt designs, Ray Grit, Lance Topley, you know, Zach Holker, for all the work he puts in every single year in the Facebook group, with our Royal Rumble pool, which is going to be coming up again soon. TV Tracks, he's gone off the grid. I know that he's a little burned out right now, but wherever he is, many of you I know would not be listening to this show right now were it not for him posting clips of the podcast on his channel way back when. So I have to thank him. And of course, Mama Monster. This has been I would say that this has been the biggest and the best year yet for this show. The growth of this show has been amazing. Even the little bit of stuff I was able to do this year in just the last few months with, House of Glory and the great crew they have over there. They had me in for one of their shows. We did some other stuff. We may do some more stuff. Even that. It's been just a very fulfilling year for me. And it's been a blast. And yet, on a personal level, this has been the most challenging year of my entire life. You don't hear it really when I'm recording, but I would say that her loss has been just immeasurable, I think is a pretty good word for it. And her birthday is coming up in a few weeks, actually. Thanksgiving would have been her 59th birthday. But without her influence, there is no show. I could thank all those other people, but without her influence, there is no Sound Off. And I was so glad that I had her on for that Mother's Day Madness episode last year, Sound Off 495. And I got to tell that story of the old wrestling magazine that I used to produce when I was a kid and all the money that she lost taking it to Staples, for me just to get it printed up when I would barely make anything back off of it. She always was very encouraging. She always encouraged me when it came to doing creative stuff like that. This show was no different. She would tell anybody that she could about it. And so I would be remiss if I didn't mention her here as well. I miss her every day. But 571 episodes is a lot of shows. And with all those old SE Scoops live shows that I used to do after Raw with Noah back in the day, over 80 some odd Sound Off Extra reviews that are up on the YouTube channel. The number is actually closer to 700 shows if you add everything up together. I'm not the only person to hit that mark, but not too many people can say that they've done that. And I'm pretty proud of that. So thank you for sticking with me these last 11 years. For all the newer listeners, welcome aboard. And let's get on with it.